Hello friends, welcome into the Cowboys Report presented by BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. I'm your host Tom Downey, here with my latest Cowboys Mailbag. I love it, I know you guys do too, so let's dive into it. First up from Juan, should the Cowboys sign Reuben Foster? I don't think so, and in fact, I know not. I know they should not do this because you don't need him right now. It's not worth the risk. Niners have announced they're going to cut Foster because he was arrested for the second time for domestic violence with the exact same accuser. Reuben, what are you doing, dude? This is not worth the risk for the Cowboys. And frankly, they don't even need him. You have Jalen Smith, you have Leighton Vander Esch. I'm taking both those guys over Foster, immensely talented player, but I don't trust him to stay out of trouble. So it is a pass for me on Foster. Let me know what you guys think. Again, I love the talent. He was my number 3 guy coming out of that draft class, but the dude just cannot stay out of his own way. Hard pass on Foster. He's not worth the headache. All right, next up from CGP 2003. Should the Cowboys consider Bell, like the Saints, having 2 great backs in Kamara and Ingram? Not the first time I'll get this, and I'm sure it's not the last time either. But here's the issue with Lev Bell. It's the money side of it. In a bubble with no salary cap, yeah, sure, bring on Bell. And yes, the Saints have used 2 halfbacks effectively, but adding Bell is actually a terrible use of cap space. You cannot commit, in reality, 2 of the highest paid players at their position at halfback. That's not how salary cap is structured. And yeah, Kamara and Ingram work, but guess what? Ingram and Kamara combined are making less than Zeke Elliott is this year. It just doesn't work out from a math perspective if you want to keep DeMarcus Lawrence and keep Zeke long-term and, keep Amari Cooper, for example. So the talent-wise, sure, it could be fun, but from a money cap use perspective, it's not going to ever work out. All right, Isaiah asks, if this is Kliff Kingsbury's last year at Tech, do you want him as the OC? I'm on board with this. Sign me up. I think it'd be fun. I'm not overly concerned about the ground game. I think Kliff would be a great NFL OC. The issue is, A, he's going to have plenty of interest. B, I don't know if the Cowboys would actually do it. I'm on board, but would Garrett really hire Kliff Kingsbury as an NFL OC? I just have a tough time seeing it happen. I'm on board. Twitter's on board. I'm not the conductor of this hype train yet, but I have a tough time seeing it go down. Shout out my boy Jonah Tolles, who is definitely the conductor of the Kingsbury to Dallas hype train. All right, from Hayden, should we expect to see more Noah Brown? Well, we saw him for 20 snaps against the Skins. I think that's kind of what you're going to see him get. In reality, he kind of was your extra third tight end. He got more snaps than Rico. Don't know why they keep playing Blake Jarwin. Stop making Blake Jarwin happen, Cowboys. Bench him. He's not any good. Stop using him. Use Noah Brown instead. And in terms of pure receivers, you're not going to sacrifice snaps for Cooper or Gallup or Beasley. So in reality, Brown becomes your go-to extra big receiver who can block. 20 of his snaps, 16 were run plays. That is how Noah Brown should be used, and I think that's how Noah Brown will be used going forward. Now, today's show is brought to you by BetDSI, folks. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Cowboys120 gets you a 120% deposit bonus. Put down $50, they're going to give you $60. Put down $100, they're going to give you $120. Put down $500, they're going to give you $600 extra bucks to bet with, only on BetDSI if you use promo code Cowboys120. All right, next up from Joe, and you hope for updates on Travis Frederick. I don't think he's going to play this year. And as we've reported in the past, I don't think you'll see Frederick play this year. The good news is feeling is back in his hands. That's a big deal for Frederick. The bad news, no feeling in his feet yet. He is confident, and so am I, that he will return at some point, but I don't think that comes this year. I think next year, as we sit right now, late in the year, is a more likely outcome. All right, from Dak Attack, who's watching us from the Philippines, thank you very much, Dak Attack. Who are the best upcoming free agents the Cowboys could consider at tight end this offseason? 5 names to monitor here. 2 of them from the Bengals. Tyler Eifert, CJ Uzomah as well. Jared Cook is old. I'm not interested in him all that much. Jesse James is basically Jeff Swaim, who is, by the way, a free agent. So I don't think you need to go that route there for the Cowboys. I don't think you're going to look at tight end in free agency. Frankly, if you can get Eifert, great, but he's always hurt. He'd be the one guy I'd want. Maybe you just bring back Jeff Swaim on the cheap. That might be an option there as well. So who should start at tight end next year? Is it Rico? I know you guys all love Rico Gathers. Is it Schultz? Is it Swaim? Let me know in the comments section. From Terminator Cop 1, should the Cowboys get Caleb Wilson from UCLA with their second-round pick? If you want to get a new tight end, I think the draft is the way to go. And it is a good, if not elite class at tight end. You have Caleb Wilson, who could be a round 2, round 3 pick. Dawson Knox fits that move tight end mold, as too does a guy like Caden Smith potentially at Stanford. Albert O, don't even try his last name, could also be a round 2, round 3 pick. Irv Smith would be an O.J. Howard type guy, and T.J. Hawkinson, I think he's George Kittle. Same school, same type of player. Any of those guys make sense. Round 2, round 3, watch out for a tight end for the Cowboys. It's a good class. There will be players available. Stick with the draft here. TW1, should we draft a receiver to go with Cooper in rounds 2 through 5? Well, you have Gallup already. He's your number 2. It's Cooper, Gallup. The question is, do you bring back Cole Beasley? If so, maybe you spend one like in round 5. But you also remember, you have Ced Wilson coming back from injury. So I'm down with spending one. There are a lot of good guys, but I don't think you need to spend a round 2 or round 3 pick. Focus round 4, round 5, round 6 in that area. Carlos Rodriguez. If the Cowboys draft a quarterback for a backup, who would be a good pick? 2 guys to monitor, both of whom could be starters down the road. Brett Rippon at Boise State. We know the Cowboys love those Boise State guys, right? And my grooming candidate, Tyree Jackson of Buffalo. Big arm, big size, good mobility. Has not put it all together yet. He is a discount Josh Allen. Needs a lot of time, but the upside is definitely there. So should Dallas draft the quarterback this year? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I'm always down around 5, 6, 7. Always spending a pick on a quarterback. The issue is it's a pretty bad class. All those guys I think will be pushed up, fair or not. All right, Caleb Littleton, our last question of the day here. Do you think Dallas will make the Super Bowl in the next 5 to 10 years? I certainly hope so. That's the goal, right? I will choose to pick yes. I will choose to be optimistic here. I'm going to say yes. Let me know what you guys think. Type 1 for yes, type 0 for no. I hope the Cowboys make it there. I just don't know if they're actually going to. Let's see how the rest of the year plays out. I think I'll have a much better feel for that going forward. And stay tuned, folks, for tomorrow for our next Cowboys Report.